Hi, everybody. It's Jenny from the Missouri Star Quilt Company, and it's Triple Play Week once again. And I'm here with Misty and with Natalie. And we have 3 projects that are all based around the Double Square Star. So if you haven't had a chance to go look at that tutorial, look at the tutorial on the Double Square Star, and you will see how fun these things are. These are all takes off that block, and we can't wait to show you. So we're going to start with Misty first.
All right, let's dive right in.
This is her quilt behind us.
Yes, this is my quilt. I called it the Sashed Double Square Star because we just added some sashing and cornerstones to it.
Now, one of the most fun things is these are all Halloween fabrics.
Oh yes, we're gonna have really fun Halloween fabrics. And
in case you couldn't tell, we like Halloween a little.
Jenny loves Halloween. I love Halloween too. The fabric I use for my quilt is called A Spooky Good Time by Kim Schaefer for Andover, and it's really cute.
It's so cute.
And to make this quilt behind me, you're gonna need 2 packs of these 5-inch squares as well as 2 yards of the black background fabric. And so pretty easy to remember, and it's really simple to make. Let me show you how we do it. So I've got all my goodies here. So actually, I think I'm just gonna start with this. And so the beauty of this charm pack is that there is 2 of pretty much all of your prints, and then because you're using 2 packs, even the ones that there's only 1 of, you then have 2. So I kept them together in pairs like that, and you're going to keep 1 hole, and then you're going to take the other one and you're going to cut it down into 2.5-inch squares. So we're going to cut it in half both directions.
This is such a cool pattern. When I did this, I can remember that everybody was like, oh my gosh.
I know, it's
if
so
you turn this,
fun.
If you do this, you know, there were so many ideas that came with it. So when we were thinking about an idea for this one, it was just like, we got to do this.
So fun, yeah, totally. And so then you're going to take 2 of these and keep it with your 5-inch square for your block, and the other 2 are going to set aside for your cornerstones. And so then you're going to need a 5-inch and 7-inch black strip by, well, 2.5-inch by 5 and 7, sorry. And then we're going to use these 2.5-inch squares to snowball in opposite directions on these. So I'm going to just lay those right sides together, and we're going to go corner to corner this way and then corner to corner this way, making sure they're going opposites. It doesn't really matter as long as they're opposite. So if you want to do that.
So this one goes out?
Sure,
I had to actually set mine next to the block so I knew which direction to sew. So I'm pretty amazed at this right now.
And then this one will just go in that way.
Okay.
Well, and if you're making a lot of blocks, you can just do all of the 5-inch ones at the same time, going one direction, and then all of your 7s going the other direction.
Yeah, I just chain pieced them all like this,
I so smartly have white thread in here so that
you can see. And so then we're just gonna trim off the excess, and we can press those back. I'll let you do that, Nat. Ta-da! Here we go. And that one.
This is one of those blocks where it really has a lot of, pizzazz for what you have to do.
Oh, absolutely. And then we're just going to attach this to one side and this to the other. And that is as easy as that.
Let's do that.
There's that one.
And I will just finger press this back and add this other strip on, then you can iron all at once.
Yeah, that's how I did it too.
And you want to make sure that this triangle the color hits color. And that's actually why I had to lay mine down and look at them, because I was like,
is this all gonna
I'm
match
so
up?
angrily challenged.
Perfect.
Well, and the beauty is that even if you did yours opposite directions, you could still put your short one on this side and your long one on this side.
As long as they're opposite.
And still have the same points.
Yeah, because now that I'm looking at it, when I made these step outs, I'm pretty sure I did do mine the opposite directions, but it really doesn't matter. Because as long as they're opposite,
your seam lines are going to disappear.
Yeah, exactly. They're all going to work out. And so I actually did make blocks just like the original quilt, but I went ahead and put sashing in between it. So this is my block here. And so because our block finishes up at 7-inch, this block, I should say, finishes up at 7 inches square, then all of our sashing pieces need to be 2.5 by 7 inches. So I cut a big stack of those, and then I just laid out some of my double square quadrants, I guess we can call them. And I started by...
Just helping you.
Needed to go that way? Oh, thank you.
Color to the middle.
There we go. And we just sewed our sashing strips in the middle like this. And then we have, I keep losing things. Oh, here we go. And then we have the 7-inch strip with a 2.5-inch cornerstone in the middle and another 7-inch strip. And this will all sew together just in rows to give you your finished block, which is like this. And it's so great and so easy. And because of how this is all put together, you use the exact same size strips and sashing in between your blocks as well. And I decided to just carry it through because it kind of made it connect and web. And then I also think even if this wasn't in a Halloween print, it would be a really cute like florally flower that sort of appears, which is really, really great. And so you can see here, I have this sashing strip made. And so it would just sit in here. You would start with the sashing and then your block and then a sashing and then your block. And this would just go in between your rows. And so it just comes together super quick, super easy, and just adds a little extra pizzazz by putting those cornerstones in there.
Have 3
Yep,
across.
this is just 3 by 3, just a nice little throw size, really quick and easy. And for the backing, we use these cute little stars.
Oh, that's darling.
Yes,
So
and
great.
it's 3 1/4 yards that you need for that.
That
so
is
just
so nice. And what
really
size does
fun.
it end up?
53 square, 53 inches square.
It is really cute.
So-
It'd be great for a table. But you know what I'm thinking is, what if you reversed these and this was the color?
I know.
And this was the background.
Exactly.
You know, it's all those what if
all the
moments
fun
that happen.
things you
Yeah.
can try. So I'm excited to play around with it some more, but I'm really happy with how it came
Oh,
out.
it's just darling.
So beautiful.
Really fun. So we can swap it out, and Jenny will be
I
up
get to
next.
show you mine. Okay, so for my quilt, take a look at this quilt. It's so different, isn't it?
So cute.
And yet it's made exactly the same. We just made a few little changes. So to make this quilt, you're going to need 2 charm packs, and we have used Ghouls and Goodies by Stacy Iest Hsu for Moda Fabrics, and you can see it's a darling line of fabrics. You're going to need a little bit of accent fabric, and that's the black right here, and you can use one of these little packs, or you can use 3/4 of a yard of accent fabric, and that's your little 2.5-inch black squares. We have this other background fabric here. Our background fabric is 1 3/4 yards. For our inner border, I love these prints
They're
so much,
so
and so I
cute.
just had to not throw in an ordinary border, but one of these fabric borders, and I used a 1/2 yard for this, and the outer border is a nice big 6-inch border, and it's 1 1/4 yards. So let's look at the backing on this. Again, I use that pumpkin fabric. I just think it's so cute. And also, if you'll notice my quilting pattern, these are little bats. And so these, you know, when you use a holiday fabric, it's fun to use a holiday quilting pattern.
Yes.
On Misty's, I noticed she used spider webs
Yes.
on hers, and it's just fun to be able to do those fun quilting patterns that we don't get a chance
Right,
to.
exactly.
But I also don't want you guys, even though we're doing all Halloween fabric for this because Halloween is coming, I want you guys to look at this with open eyes and see these things in other fabrics too, because these are great patterns that are going to look great in, you know, lots of different fabrics, not just the Halloween.
absolutely.
But Halloween, I have to admit, it was super fun for us, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah,
All
we
right,
don't
so this-
often get to use
We just
holiday
don't.
fabric.
So my quilt is actually 63 by 75, a little bit bigger, and that's just 2 charm packs. So I feel like that's a good size quilt for this.
Absolutely.
And what I did, so my block you can see right here is the same idea. You know, it's got the center square and the 2 side pieces with their little snowballed corner, but instead of a solid square, I did a 4 patch in the middle. So let me show you how I did that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pick 2 contrasting colors, and I'll take this dark black one, and maybe we'll get something over here. This candy would be cute. And I made 4 patches, and this is just, you know, there's a zillion ways to make 4 patches, and this is just how I did it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these right sides together and I'm going to sew a seam on both sides. So if you'll do that,
absolutely.
a little 1/4 inch seam on both sides. I think that would be, that will work. And the math on this is going to change just a little bit because when you take 2 seams on either side of a charm, your square is going to end up being 4.5. And so our math changes a little bit and you just have to be aware of that. So once you get these sewn together like this, it's still 5, so I'm going to lay my ruler right on the very edge. It's one of the things I love about these 2.5 inch rulers. And we have 2 pieces now of this. And so Natalie, if you'll press these to the dark side.
Sure.
And as long as you always press to the dark side, these will, these blocks will just nest together so nice. And then I'm going to have you iron this one. I have some others that I made here because we want to scrap these up. We want them to be all mixed up and scrapped up. So we're going to take these, and I'm going to take one of these that I did and one that I did from before, and we're going to put these right sides together like this. And because we pressed to the dark side, the seams are laying, going the right directions, and we're just going to feel those, make sure they're nested up nice and tight. And Misty, I just want you to sew on the sides again.
Absolutely.
So the first one on the sides of the 5 inch square, we put these together, we're sewing on the sides again with the seams running horizontally. Alrighty.
Here we go.
So now this width is still 5 inches, so we can still just lay our ruler on the edge like this and make a cut, and then we have 2 4 patches just like that. So that's kind of a fun way.
Cute.
It's kind of a fun way to make a 4 patch, little bit different, and it's just fun sometimes to throw some of these things in there, different ways to do things. All right, now I've got my 2.5 inch background strip right here, and I need to cut some pieces. And I know that my first cut is going to be 4.5 because my block should measure 4.5. And I will actually check that. So we're going to have a 4 inch. I've left mine cut in half because I love cutting multiple sets at a time. And I'm just going to lay this ruler on here like this. This is a 4.5, and the other one should then be 6.5. Is that right? Isn't that right?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
I'm
That's
like,
right.
That's right.
like, isn't that right? Somebody help me. All right, here we go. All right, now I'm going to look at this and make sure it actually is 4.5 because sometimes when we have those little pinked edges, it does mess with our cutting a little bit, and it looks like we're pretty close. Make sure this side's lined up. No, I got nothing to trim there. I'm going to turn it here and see how this
Pretty
side
much
is.
perfect.
Yeah,
Looks really good.
that looks really good. All right, so now again we're going to do this side here and this side here. But we have to put our little black square on the side, and so I'm just going to kind of finger press these. And I actually set up my little block like this because for those of you who, like me, are angly challenged, I needed to know that my color has to touch the 4 patch. And oftentimes, so there was several blocks where we had a white on here, and I tried to make that white not touch the background fabric because I wanted it to show up. And so I went ahead and used the whites, but I just made sure they weren't.
Kind of watched your placement.
Yes, whew.
You got it.
I got it. All right.
All
If you'll sew that down
Yeah.
there, and then this one can follow.
Sewing right on the line.
Yep, when you press the line, you sew right on the line. That's a really good point because so often we sew on both sides.
Yeah.
We are not doing that on this block. All right, and I will trim these off.
I hope I
trim
got those
there.
right. Yeah, I did.
Let me see. This
As
one
long
goes
as they're opposites,
this
They're
way.
it doesn't
opposites.
matter.
Oh, yeah.
They're
As long as they're opposites, it doesn't matter. All right, so then I'm going to trim this off. Thank you, Natalie, for ironing those.
No problem.
And then I'm going to hand this over to Misty and let her start pressing these on. Sewing these on. So we're going to just sew this right here like this. Actually, I'm going to, no, like this. That's what we're going to do. We're going to sew this one here like this. And you can sew that down. And then we'll add this guy on the side.
There you go.
Here, we can throw that in a trash. We have a little trash can down here. And then one over here on this side.
All right.
We tried to get our nails all pretty for you this week. You know, we were Natalie's hiding hers.
Not I.
Misty came in and she had her, you know, we do the glue on.
Yeah, I was going to say.
We don't actually, yeah. People are like, I love your manicure. And I'm like, did you just glue?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're all like gardeners and, you know, out there
And
doing
house
stuff.
flippers and we've got all the projects. So
We got all the projects.
nails don't really last long
No.
for us.
No, but
It's all
people
right.
are always impressed with my manicure. So now you know my secret. You can have it too. You too can have this wonderful manicure.
Ta-da!
Yeah, Misty's are like
Nude.
yeah. Or what a ballet.
Blush or something. Yeah, I don't know.
All right. So you need 4 of these to make your block. And we could put it together just like this.
Which would still be so
Which
cute.
would still be so cute, right? But I decided that I wanted to see what would happen if. And so what I did was I took 2 of my blocks and I put one in this way. And I put one in this way. And sewed it together like a 4-patch. And all of a sudden, it was really completely different. So Misty, if you want to sew these together.
Sure.
And it goes together just like a 4-patch. And you have, like on this, you don't really have match-up places. So you can't really get off on this. I mean, you do want to try to make them fit, you know, so that your blocks come out the same. This little piece here on the bottom, you could nest, you know, your little, oh, hang on.
I'm sorry I didn't cut the thread.
It's all right. Don't cut it. I'll just clip it
Okay.
here. There we go. And then, so right here, this seam you could nest right here to make sure that they kind of line up because it will form these little pinwheels just by putting the blocks together. So here's this one, and we'll go ahead and sew. Let's go ahead and sew this one to this one.
Do you want me to press that other one?
No, she's going to live on the wild side.
Okay.
Living on the edge.
Living on the edge with a spider.
That's right. All right. You do have some more places that you can match up when you put these together, though.
Oh yeah, when you put the sides together, you want to watch where your little seams come together. I actually love that when you're putting a block together and there's, you know, you're at a 2.5-inch block, you can actually straighten up your block every 2.5 inches because you're matching those up together.
And making sure they stay where they need to.
Right.
Yeah, I like that too.
And since I'm kind of a random quick sewer. All right, Nat, if you can go ahead and iron this.
Yep.
And I'm going to show you how this block fits into the quilt behind me. So here's our blocks right here. And wherever there's a pinwheel, that is the beginning of the next block.
I love it.
And so it's, you know, I can even come down here. It's right here and here and here and here. And so we've got 4 across and 5 down, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. And so it's 20 blocks that you're making of this. And you can see just by adding another charm pack, you could make this a bigger quilt. If you did it with a layer cake, you could cut those into 4ths and do them. I mean, it's just a great pattern fun and a great twist on the double square star.
I love it.
Nice.
All right, Natalie, you're up.
Okay, I have a great project. It's super simple and quick and easy. I had time to do something bigger, but I thought it might be time for us to just do something small and simple.
That's right.
So I only used a few of my charm squares and put together these cute little table runners.
It's so
So with a package, you can make several. And this this line that I used is so sweet. It's called All Hallows Eve by Joanna Figueroa for Fig Tree. And it is such a sweet line. It's just so soft and
darling.
subtle.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful for fall or Halloween. It's not super Halloween, like it doesn't have spiders or things like that, but
No,
it's
it's just
beautiful
beautiful
fall
colors.
colors, and I just loved it. Yeah. The nice thing about it is because whether it has duplicates or not, you have such similar colors that you can match them all up and make this gorgeous little table runner. So let me show you how I put this together. And I've got, I did 2. So on this one, I have a white background, and on the other one, I have a black background. Will you grab that one for me?
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So I have this one as well that I did with the lighter squares in the middle and then a darker background. So all we do is we make 2 of the regular double square star blocks and put those together just like this.
So two regulars and two singles?
Yes. So these go together in a little 4-patch. And these are made just the same way Misty's are made, and Mom's only minus the 4-patch for Mom's.
And the twisting.
So same measurements.
Right.
As
Same measurements as Misty's, goes together in just a very similar way. Oh, we've got 2 of these, so I'm going to put them opposite like that. So these get stitched together, no problem, same square. Do you want to stitch, or do you want to just?
I can while you're talking through.
Yeah.
Happy
Okay.
to.
So we'll have two of those.
So we'll do 2 of those. Yep. And then in between those 2 squares, you're just going to put 2 opposite squares facing in the middle. And I'm going to use these ones because they stand out against those other 2. So just like this, these 2 point. And so as soon as you get that square put together, what you're going to do is basically here, you're going to have this first square, and then you're going to add this second one to the side. And you'll do the same thing over here, putting this square to this side, and then sew this seam to join them together.
Oh, okay. I was wondering how you did that.
Yep. So
That's actually a great way to do
make
that.
your first 2 solid blocks just like normal. And if you want, we can throw one more together just so that we can show the entire thing, because it goes together so fast. And then I have a few pointers on the binding, because you don't often bind in that zigzag shape. So just grab another one of we could do the 2 of these.
Okay.
So yeah, you've got it. And I'll give these to Misty and let her sew them together as well in a little strip piece fashion.
Perfect. Whoops.
It really does go together fast, and you can make several from your one charm.
So
charm
I
pack.
love things when you can make several things, because I like to do, quick little gifts for, think about this in Christmas fabric or anything. I mean, it would just be
any fabrics, and it looks so cute. Like, 1 second.
Whoops, am I in your way?
Nope.
Oh.
But
Oh,
look how cute. Got a little pumpkin on the
it's
table runner. It's
perfect.
adorable. Can you even see his face? Did I do it right there?
He's looking out so happy.
All right.
All right, can you show him how this attaches to the square then?
Right, so this kind of sits a little bit on point. And
I feel
this
like I'm
piece,
missing out because I can't watch and sew.
well, you're gonna get the grand finale.
Okay,
so
good.
this piece, let me move this right out of the way so you can see. This piece just attaches right here, and it's just a short little side seam.
Now, do you sew it all the way to the end?
Yes.
Okay, because there's
I
no
believe
Y.
so.
There's no Y seam. We're
No
just
Y
sewing it
seam.
on.
And as far as like matching it up, it'll automatically match up as if you line up this end. You can check to see that your points match, but it's not going to make a lot of difference because that is going to be in the binding.
Right.
All right, so stitch this one.
And I'll iron this one.
And you can,
here
just
to
start
here?
it there and go down.
Okay. There we go.
And then you can just
me to
so
press
that
it?
sure, yeah, just so that you know, these do go exactly the same way. So this also goes,
Oh, so it'll match up.
yeah.
Okay.
Because you flip it, you just flip it.
Oh, okay. So have Misty
So-
sew that one, and then let's
so-
show it where they sew it together.
Okay. So this also goes like this. So
Mm-hmm.
see how these two are basically the same piece? And then you're just going to take this piece and you're going to flip it, and you're going to match these 2 points up in the middle,
Oh, I love it.
and just sew another little half seam to join these, and you've got your whole table runner done.
So then you
So-
quilted them. At this point, you quilted
Yes,
them.
I went
Okay.
ahead and quilted them and bound them as usual.
Okay.
And look how cute this quilting is. This is candy, like for
Yep.
Halloween candy.
It has
Adorable.
lots of candy on it.
Yeah. And so then the binding.
So the
Looks
binding-
like the binding's going to be.
It does seem like it might be a little bit more complicated, but it's not. I've got this attached partially. So you can see on this one, I've partially attached the binding. And the outer corners, the ones that point out, you do them in the same way that you do any of your normal corners on quilting. You're going to flip it out and then flip it back like this and pull it straight back down, and that's going to miter on the other side. So just like a typical. And then this one is the fun one. So for this space, when you get down here, what I would do is go ahead and put a little clip in this seam,
Okay.
but not super far back.
I thought that was, oh, here, right here.
Not a clip, I meant
Like
scissors.
like a snip,
you
you're
cut,
gonna cut.
Oh, okay.
you cut it. So what you do is you pull this apart, you pull this flat, straight,
Try
just
to get
like
it
this.
as straight as you can.
Yep, so you're stitching along.
Do you want to
and
sit
when you
and
get,
sew it, Nat?
Sure, that would be
I
great.
can show it.
Okay, good idea. I didn't think of that. All right. So we'll go around this corner. I'm just going to start here and bind as usual on this one. You're going almost to the edge, about 1/4 of an inch. Pull it up. Where's that thingy? There we go. Flip it back and then back down. Okay. All right, so now that I'm getting close to the corner, what I'm going to do, or the inverted corner.
Inside point.
The inside point. I'm just going to I'm going to kind of twist it a little bit and pull it straight. So I'm sewing towards the middle. And once I get to the middle, I kind of leave it in a needle down position and really pull it out so that it straightens that seam. So it's a little bit tight, but if you leave your needle in the down position, you can pull it and get it straight. And so
Same
straight
idea
across.
as when you do scallops.
It's when I do scallops.
It is
yeah.
the same as when you do
Okay.
scallops. And
So,
then you're,
like on this right here, you know, you can see how
Yeah.
it's just straight. And,
And
then when you let it go, it makes its own little pleat.
That's so great.
right. So you're going to go ahead and finish that as normal with the same method that you use on regular quilt. And then when you're getting ready to bind the other side, when you hand stitch it down, you're still going to want to pull apart, but it might need a little bit of a clip because it makes this kind of funky, it just seems a little tight. So if you clip the seam right here,
Not through your threads.
not through your thread, yes, making sure that you don't clip the actual seam that you've just sewn,
Right.
then it will pull across much easier, and you continue to hand bind. Let me flip this around so you can see.
It just gives you that flexibility.
Yep, as you hand bind, you continue to keep that straight and stitch it down, and then it'll bounce back into this
Yeah,
really
so-
beautiful, just easy inner corner.
Just kind of makes its own pleat.
Yeah, and it lays flat
Perfect.
and beautifully. It looks great.
And then
Yep.
you can put the pumpkin on here.
Ooh, he's
get it all
he's
pretty.
got
And
to
I can
face out
show-
for sure,
yes.
though.
Oh, I didn't
There we
know.
go.
Oh, yes. And the spider.
And you can see on this table runner, I did a cute little candy,
It's
I
so
love it.
like
cute.
Halloween candy, and this one's loops and swirls. They're so easy and fun.
They're really
A
cute.
table runner is actually a great place to do a really dense, fun pattern because you really get to look at it on the table.
That's true.
And it's a smaller space, so it doesn't take quite as much time.
Quite as
Yeah,
long.
if you do it on a whole quilt, it takes a bit longer.
A lot longer.
Yes.
The denser patterns definitely take more time and more thread.
That is fun. And it's fun to
so
use a
But it's
pattern
fun to-
around the holiday time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yep.
So this has been so much fun for us with the Halloween fabric and these projects based on the double square star. It's been so fun.
So
Misty,
great.
let's recap. Show us yours.
Yes, I
This
just
is
added the
sashed,
sashing.
yeah, Sashed Double Square
So
Star.
cute.
And Natalie with her cute runner. And this
It's
is
so quick and easy.
So
just so
fun.
easy.
And even the pointed binding, you can totally handle it, I promise.
it.
And mine back here, the 4-patch double square star. It's time for a little fun and mischief. And we hope you enjoyed this triple play on the double square star from the Missouri Star Quilt Company.